This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Evening Update for Tuesday, March 31st. Good evening and thanks for joining us. Our top story: sexual predators prowling in the public education system. Beware. Education Minister Ronald Jones says government is adopting zero tolerance for any teacher found guilty of sexually exploiting students. He issued the strong warning at the Lodge School's Speech Day and prize-giving ceremony this morning.
I know that people will say what Ronald Jones talking about now, but I only talk that I know, or what I know. Zero tolerance. Find a job somewhere else. Because once we know, I don't care how good you are, how good you're loved by children and your colleagues say how brilliant you are. Once you cross the line, there's no more time for you in education in Barbados. None.
The outspoken minister is also concerned about a pornographic video making the rounds on social media involving a 13-year-old girl.
And even if she were in fact 16, should she be bludgeoned, sexually bludgeoned, and her face and her form displayed? But yet, you can't see the face of the male. And I've seen too many of those to be comfortable. The male face is never shown. It's the female's face that is shown. And that has to be deliberate.
Not the Parkinson Memorial Secondary School. Principal Jeff Brooms distances the Pine Institution from the controversy surrounding the correcting of school-based assessments projects, or SBAs, by teachers. Just last week, the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union served notice that its members will not be correcting SBAs this academic year unless the Caribbean Examination Council pays them. But Brooms makes it clear that his teachers will not be taking part in any CXC boycott.
Assessment is a part of every teacher's job, and I see SB is part of continuous assessment. We do exams every time, we do labs and all kinds, so that's all work.
So how would you as a principal handle the issue though? Because BSTU seems to be going ahead with the...
But no, maybe BSTU don't ever got no, maybe BSTU don't have a grant happen. You know that.
So you have students...
I know that every teacher at my school will be correcting SBAs, everyone, and be submitting marks to every single one. I had a meeting with them yesterday. Yeah. But then again, there's no teacher at this school who's a member of BSTU.
Meantime, BSTU President Mary Redmond, speaking on radio this morning, called on members to stand firm on the issue, even as she revealed that teachers from another school had joined in the boycott.
The BUT is offering support in relation to this, and some of their schools, I know, for example, St. Leonard's is supposed to be very much on board in relation to this whole issue. And remember, with them too, their schools would only have been affected up to the C-SEC level, and of course in your secondary schools, smaller numbers of students, the reality is, do C-SEC. But with the introduction now of the sixth form, their teachers are now exposed to CAPE as well. Mm-hmm. And since that has happened, their teachers now have been complaining of the workload. St. Leonard's is a school, and they too seem to be on board.
In other news, a two-bedroom house in St. Michael was destroyed by fire today. No one was injured in the blaze, in which two other houses were also damaged. The wooden structure, which is located just off Long Gap, was illegally occupied at the time of the blaze, and the pictures there were supplied by Mark Springer. A man is in police custody assisting with investigations into the death of Erskine Gunning, the 41-year-old of Paddock Road, St. Michael, who died at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital yesterday afternoon from an apparent stab wound. According to police, a spokesman, David Welch, the man, who was not identified, presented himself to a police station today, accompanied by his lawyer. The incident, which occurred in Paradise Village Christchurch, is still under investigation. Meantime, police say investigations are continuing into reports of criminal acts being perpetrated by persons impersonating workers from the National Housing Corporation. A team of investigators is now on the case, but lawmen are advising members of the public to remain vigilant at all times and contact the nearest police station if they suspect any suspicious activity. In sports, a brilliant goal from Barbados' top striker, Soraya Toppin-Herbert, could not prevent a combined women's club's team from going down 2-1 to U.S. visitors St. Catherine's University at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex. Last night's match is the first of 3-match series, with the second game tomorrow, also at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Onto the regional scene now. Jamaica police are investigating the circumstances in which a grade 6 student was fatally stabbed by his classmate yesterday. According to reports, the 12-year-old was stabbed in the neck during a fight over a seat and later died at the hospital. His attacker is currently in police custody. Further afield now, the final tally is still on, but from all indications, Nigeria has a new president. According to reports, the incumbent, Goodluck Jonathan, also conceded defeat earlier today in the presidential election. More in this CNN report.
The final official result is not out yet, but we have heard that President Goodluck Jonathan has called his opponent, Muhammadu Buhari, to congratulate him on his victory in the Nigerian elections. And this really is unprecedented, Robin, and completely unexpected. First of all, this is the first time in Nigeria's history that the ruling party has been beaten by an opposition party. And you have to remember, Robin, this country has had a decades-old history of military coups, aborted democracy and violence. And this election has now proved all of that wrong. And as I said, waiting for the final results, but that phone call by President Goodluck Jonathan to Muhammadu Buhari will reverberate not just across Nigeria, but across the whole of Africa, because this, Robin, is Africa's largest democracy.
And on that note, we come to the end of the Barbados Today evening update, but we will be back again at 7 tomorrow morning. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on 9TV, as well as Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a pleasant evening.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? #sexy